What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Kettlebell Guys podcast. My name is Grant Anderson. I'll be your host today. And today I wanted to talk about a key concept that everybody talks about in business. So in the entrepreneur world, we talk about this all the time when it comes to owning your own business, growing a company, trying to make an impact in the world. But I was thinking about it today, and I was thinking about how important this key concept is for guys who are looking to make big changes when it comes to their health and their fitness, whatever their goal may be, trying to, lose weight, get strong, change their body comp, whatever the goal is, right? Guys who really want to make a big change when it comes to their health. And I think that often this concept is probably overlooked, and it is probably not thought about enough when it comes to trying to make changes when it comes to your health. Because I think that it's something that's, it's not talked about in the health and fitness industry. It's not talked about by coaches. It's definitely not talked about by gyms, or just anything. I don't think this concept is talked about at all. And so hopefully, for any of you guys out there who are listening, who do have serious goals, who have changes that you're trying to make when it comes to your health, hopefully this concept can hit home and, give you a different lens to look through. So I got this concept from a book that's titled The Go-Giver Leader. And, if any of you out there are business owners or entrepreneurs or just anyone who loves good business and personal development groups or books, there is a book series called The Go-Giver. So the original book is called The Go-Giver. It's an incredible book, but there's a couple of offshoots of that book called like The Go-Giver Leader, The Go-Giver Influence, The Go-Giver Sales. That was more of a business book. But this concept was taken from The Go-Giver Leader. And inside of that book, there was I think it was 5 key concepts that he talked about for leaders who are in, people who are in business leadership positions. And the first concept that they talked about in this book is the concept that I think applies to you if you are trying to lose weight. And that concept is the idea of holding the vision. Because when people start companies, when entrepreneurs start companies, they've got this vision of what their company could become. They have this vision of the person that it's going to help, the number of people that it's going to impact, the type of impact that it can have on the world, the mark that it can have on, just the world and society in general. And they've got usually, us as entrepreneurs, we have this big dream, right? We have this big vision of, we're going to bring this little idea into the world and it's going to make massive impact. And in the book, they talk about holding your vision. I'm going to read from the book. They said, lead with your mind. Keep seeing in your mind's eye where it is you're going, even when nobody else does, especially when nobody else does. And I thought that this concept, I was just re-listening to this book not too long ago, and I thought that this concept was so important for guys who are trying to make a decision to make big changes when it comes to their health. And I mean, like having a vision. So a guy has that day where he's like, I've got this vision for where I want to be for my health. I know what weight I want to be. I know how I want to feel. I know the level of strength I want to have. I know the muscle I want to have. I know how I want to feel with my shirt off. I know how I want to feel in my suit, in my tux. I know how I want to feel standing in front of the room, in front of my team, or going to work and interacting with my employees or my coworkers. I know how I want to feel when I go out to eat. I know how I want to feel when I'm intimate with my wife or my partner. I know how I want to feel when my kids are looking at me. You have that vision. You have that clear vision for where you want to be, what you want your health to look like, what you want your body to look and feel like. And I think the key here is that, number one, it is okay to have a massive vision for where you want to go. In fact, I think it's probably one of the most important parts is to have that massive vision for where you want to take yourself from a health perspective. They talk about big, hairy, audacious goals, right? You should be casting a vision for your health that is so big, that is so incredible, that you would be living your absolute dream life, that it almost makes you scared to even think about a vision for you because you think, man, that's unrealistic. That might be a little unrealistic. You should be dreaming that big. Because number one, why the hell not? Why the hell not? You got one life. You got one life. And if you want to live it a certain way, if you want your health to be a certain way, if you want your body to be a certain way, if you want to be able to, feel a certain way, give yourself permission to want that. Give yourself permission to believe that that's possible for you. That's step number one, is actually make that vision. Now, I think step number two is the understanding that, okay, once you have that vision, well, now you got to get to work. And now you're going to run into all of the hard parts about having a big, incredible vision for your health. Because I can tell you this, from being a part of, a co-owner in 2 companies, Sean and I had the gym, Chicago Primal Gym, and we now run Kettlebell Transformation. And I've had the privilege of being a co-owner with Coach Sean. If you guys haven't, look up Coach Sean, Kettlebell Sean. He's been on this podcast. He's the man. Make sure you go give him a follow. I've had the privilege of being his business partner for like the last 10 years. And I can tell you that no matter how big our vision has been for our company or companies, as soon as you have that vision, you run into all of the hard stuff. You run into all of the challenges. You run into all of the setbacks, all of the things that you thought were going to go a certain way, but then they didn't quite go as well as you wanted them to. Or all the things that you thought were going to work, and maybe they worked for a little bit, but then it stopped working. And all of those challenges, I can tell you this right now, and I know that it's this way from a health and fitness perspective for guys when they're trying to make change, because it's the same for you guys. It's the same of, you lose weight, but then you stop losing weight. You start to plateau. Or you lost 10 pounds, but then you gained 2 pounds back. Or the bells felt super light, super easy, but then they started to feel heavy. And you start to run into all days where I was super motivated at the beginning, but now I'm 4 weeks in, or I'm 6 weeks in, or I'm 8 weeks in, and now I'm not so motivated anymore. You're going to run into all of these setbacks. You're going to run into all of these challenges, these things that are going to be in your way of you actually realizing that big vision, and these things that are going to test you, these things that are going to challenge you, these things that are going to test your ability to hold the vision, your ability to see in your mind's eye where it is that you are trying to go, testing your ability to stick to the plan and to keep following through and to keep taking swings and to keep taking action and to keep showing up and keep working out and keep focusing on your nutrition and keep doing the work, because if you continue to just show up no matter what, if you continue to just have that vision of where you're trying to go, even if no one else can see it, you know that eventually, if you just continue to show up and do the work over a long enough period of time, it would be unreasonable to think that you wouldn't eventually continue to chip away at realizing that vision. That you wouldn't continue to chip away at making that vision for you a reality. Because I can tell you right now that the only people who don't ever realize the big, incredible vision they have for themselves are the people who run into the challenges, who run into the hard times, who run into the times where they feel unmotivated, or they don't want to work out, or the bells feel heavy, or they get a slight tweak of an injury and they freak out. They don't just continue to push through, or they just run into that natural challenge of doing something consistent for a long period of time, and then they give up, and then they quit, and they stop putting in the work. But I think it's ultimately because they lose that vision. They lose that sight, that clear vision of where you're trying to go. Because if you got clarity on where you are trying to go, if you got clarity on just how good you're going to feel, on how incredible your body's going to feel, how incredible it's going to feel to have great energy, how incredible it's going to feel to wake up every morning feeling rested, your joints feeling good, you feeling strong, looking in the mirror, looking at the guy that you feel confident in, taking your shirt off at the beach and not thinking twice about it. If you've got that clarity of that vision, man, and you believe it's possible and you know you have a plan in order to get there, man, you're never going to give up, because that vision is going to be, no matter what, it's still going to be motivating for you. It's still going to be worth it for you to continue to do the work. And so step number one is having a big enough vision. Give yourself permission to have that vision. I did a podcast not too long ago about that, talking about giving yourself permission to really have a big enough vision for your health, one that even scares you. And number two is the understanding that you're going to run into challenges. You're going to run into setbacks. You are going to run into days where all you want to do is quit. all you want to do is, well, maybe I set that vision too big. Maybe it's not going to happen. Maybe it's not in the cards for me. Maybe it's not, maybe not. But guess what? That vision wasn't given to you by accident. You didn't come up with that vision for yourself by accident, because you know why you came up with that vision is because on some level you believed it was possible for you. And if you believe that it's possible for you, I guarantee you that it is possible for you to continue to figure out how to get there, for you to continue to put in the work in order to make it a reality. I promise you that. But it just starts with holding the vision and continuing to see in your mind's eye where it is you are going. Even if no one around you believes it, even if no one around you thinks it's possible, you see it. You think it's possible. You have the vision for your health. You have the vision for where you want to go. And if you have that, then you have the ability to push through the times that are going to be hard, because they're coming, or you're probably in it right now. And if you're in it right now, reestablish your vision, write it down, put it somewhere, tell your partner about it, make it clear what you want out of your health, out of your life, out of your body, out of the way you feel when you look in the mirror and you're looking back at the guy staring back at you. Make it clear. Put it out into the universe, and then hold that vision. Because I'm telling you right now, it's worth it. It is worth it. And all of the work you're going to put in, the challenges you're going to overcome, it is worth it. So with that, that's all I got for today. I hope you guys are crushing it. And I hope that if you feel like you're running into a challenging time right now, that you just give yourself that permission to put that vision down, put it out into the universe, and then hold the vision. Because if you do that, man, it's just a matter of time until you reach that thing, until you make it a reality. All right. With that being said, real quick, guys, we did just start running Kettlebell Mastery web classes. They're free, absolutely free. And so if you have not attended one of our Kettlebell Mastery web classes, where we break down our entire system just from what we do inside of Kettlebell Transformation, and I really break down kind of the stories behind what created this system and how it came to be and why our guys experienced success inside of KT. We ran our first one yesterday. It was a huge success. We had over 120 people register for it. And so if you want to attend that, there's probably a link in my bio on Instagram, or we just sent out a link via email. I'll put a link below this episode somewhere where you guys can hop on. It's completely free. I'm doing them for free. Almost every day of the week is our Kettlebell Mastery web class, where we really break down how the Kettlebell Transformation System works and how it helps guys get results. So it's completely free. You can find the link in the bio or check it out on Instagram in my link. And I hope to see you guys on one of those. All right. With that being said, keep crushing it. Keep swinging bells. Keep getting strong. I'll see you on the next episode.